Thank
us
you.
and have a great year ahead. We'll of course chat with you.
Wishing all of you.
Yes, thank you for your wishes. But let's get the focus on Tata Power. Strong set of numbers this quarter. The Mundra performance has aided the quarter earnings, and the Odisha operations also continue to see improvement. Praveer Sinha, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Tata Power, is with us. As always, he'll give us a sense of which way things are headed and also how the industry dynamics are looking. Mr. Sinha, good morning. Happy Diwali to you and your team, and thank you for being here with us on the channel. I wanted to start by, talking a little bit about the Mundra performance. The performance was good, but the coal contribution has come down. Given the extension of Section 11, what are the kind of profits that you are penciling in for Mundra over the next 1 to 2 years? And does it push out the long-term PPA chances?
Good morning, Sonia, and happy Diwali to you and all your colleagues in CNBC. I think the performance has been good this quarter, and this has been on back of a good performance from all our businesses, including Mundra. The Section 11, of course, has helped us because under Section 11, we get the cost, which is the actual cost of power generation. So it's a pass-through arrangement which is there, and to that extent, the restitution takes place. And whatever cost is incurred, we get a reimbursement of that. And we expect now that it has been extended up to June 24, and the demand of power being so high, it is expected that this will continue. However, we have been in discussions with the procurers, and hopefully we'll come to some sort of an arrangement much before the Section 11 gets over. And that will help us to have a long-term arrangement. Nonetheless, the Section 11 will be there for quite some time, considering that there is a huge growth in demand, and we have seen last 2 years the growth has been 10% each year. So nearly 22% growth has been seen in last 2 years. So with the type of extreme weather conditions, the type of growth, industrial growth in the country, we do expect the power demand to continue in the coming years.
So, sir, can you put some numbers to the kind of path to profitability for Mundra? I mean, what are you penciling in?
We are not looking at a profitability, but we are definitely looking at a cost reflective. So earlier we used to have huge losses in Mundra. That will not happen. So it will be cost reflective and cost neutral to that extent.
Hi, Mr. Sinha. Morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Just a quick question on this Coastal Gujarat Power Limited. What kind of ROE are you making here?
So as I mentioned to you, we are not making ROI or ROE in that. It's a cost reflective. So today there is no negative cost on operation of Mundra, which we were because of the increase in coal prices, we were not getting the full pass through as per the original PPA.
Mr. Sinha, we'll just come back to specific segments of your business in a bit, but good morning, Prashant here. The union governments recently organized a 2-day conference with states on laying out the roadmap for meeting power demand, etc. And the power minister, the union power minister, Mr. R.K. Singh, there's a PIB release. He basically said that we need 80,000 megawatt of sort of thermal power construction, which needs to happen to meet future demand. And of course, I mean, the minister said very categorically that we will not shy away from coal-based power to meet this demand, because even as they kind of sort of aspire to meet all the sort of COP targets and what we've committed to, etc. So in that context, Mr. Sinha, I mean, power is a very sort of, closely aligned with government policy and with the government push, etc., thrust, etc. is. Are we looking at a big thermal cycle? We've spoken about this in the past, but since this just happened 2 or 3 days back, just wanted your thoughts.
I have not seen the details of it on what basis, but as you know, we also have a very ambitious plan in the country to have 500 gigawatt of clean energy by 2030. And that also means that 300 gigawatt of clean energy will come between now and 2030. And within Tata Power also, we have a very ambitious plan to add green capacity. We already have 5,300 megawatt of green capacity right now. and another 3,700 is under implementation. This also does not include the 2,800 megawatt of pumped hydro. So what we are trying to do is come up with good solutions, unique solutions, where we will be able to give 24/7 green energy, and a hybrid of solar, wind, and pumped hydro can be a very, very good alternate. So our plan is that we will go the route of clean energy solutions and give 24/7 clean energy, and that's the way we will implement our projects in future.
Okay, that's interesting because, I mean, if I read from, the minister's comments, he says that we need about 80,000 megawatts of thermal capacity under construction. And he says all this capacity addition is being done through the public sector. Private sector investment has not started coming, but I'm quite certain that private sector investment will come. But you're saying that the preference for Tata Power will be renewable. I mean, that will be the big thrust in terms of sort of meeting power demand, the broader goals, the bigger goals.
Absolutely right. And we took this stand a few years back, and we continue to be on the script of going clean. And we will implement more and more of clean energy. We'll also implement more of pumped hydro and other hydro projects so that they can be mixed with the solar and wind and given 24/7 solutions.
Okay, all right. Mr. Sinha, I also wanted to ask you about the Odisha Discom. That's the other one that's done quite well. Could you tell us what is the outlook from here on?
So Odisha Discom, we've done a lot of improvements in terms of not only reliability of power, but also customer services. The ERP has been implemented, and many of the billing solutions which were not there earlier have been implemented, and we have now a better line of sight in terms of billing to all the consumers who were not earlier in the consumer net. We've changed nearly 25 lakh meters in last 3 years. And to that extent, the accuracy of billing and correct billing is being ensured. So we do expect that many of the initiatives that we have taken will get stabilized in the next 6 months, and the results will start coming in the next year onwards. So we do expect a huge amount of improvement that you would see in the Odisha Discoms going forward. And the results of many of the initiatives will be there for us to see.
Okay, I want to understand a little bit about the solar business also, because the solar EPC margins so far have been muted, but the order book is very strong for Tata Power. So just wanted to understand, is there a lot of raw material price fluctuation? And given the timelines of the upcoming CELU and the module plant, can you tell us, do you have scope to take the margins up further? If yes, what is the kind of band that you're looking at in the solar EPC business?
So if you remember last year, the prices of modules had gone up and many of the projects were slowed down. Now that the prices have come down, we have tied up huge quantity of modules. And you would see that between now and March, we will be implementing nearly 1.5 gigawatt of projects. And many of those projects which were delayed will get completed by March. So next 2 quarters, you will see huge amount of investment happening in the renewable business, and the results will start coming from there on.
Okay, and you have this factory coming up as well, right? So once that comes on board, then what kind of an overall growth are you looking at in the solar EPC business? So
this is a 4.3 gigawatt solar cell and module manufacturing unit, the biggest one in the country at single location, and the first one under the PLI scheme. And the objective is that majority of our requirement for whether it is for utility scale or third-party EPC or rooftop, will come from this plant. And to that extent, we'll have much better visibility on the cost of the solar modules and also control on the quality of solar modules. There would be some extra quantity available with us, which of course we will be either selling it internally or also exporting. So come next March, April, we'll see a huge amount of capacity coming from this plant. And we do expect by then that the visibility and the control on cost will improve drastically.
Okay, all right. Mr. Sinha, thanks a lot for joining in. Once again, happy Diwali to you. And thanks for being with us here on the channel. Let's slip into a quick break. On the other side, we'll be joined by Pavitra Shankar, the Managing Director at Brigade Enterprises, to discuss the company's Q2 performance. Later, we'll also be joined by Viniti Saraf Mutreja, the Managing